No, I'm on my phone. Hey, Tupo, you know that you're writing this one, right?
What is it?
Po, do you know that you're writing this one?
So we all have to switch off writing the paper. So Tupo, are you good to the one that's due tonight?
Yeah.
Presentation?
I'm doing the one tonight.
Cool.
So
Okay.
after we discuss.
Good.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Alrighty, so question. First question.
Question number 1.
As you look at the facts that you are learning about Regency fashion, am I on Regency fashion? I'm on
Yeah.
Regency fashion.
Oh, yeah, no,
That's really good. Reboot.
Are we discussing the first one?
Yep, sorry, I'm pulling up the questions. All right. Here we go. As you look at the pictures of Victorian women, what sorts of inferences can you draw about this society?
Hold on, I need to pull up the PowerPoint again.
Were corsets new for this era?
I think we talked about that, like, the era before this is when they kind of started playing with them a little bit. So
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, corsets were a thing in what we were talking about before, Regency, whatever the other one was.
Yeah, I feel like
Because
it's
he
just
talked about how it was like a thing during the day that they wouldn't wear such a tight corset, and then during the night they would, and then when they started to get into their own kind of fashion with like and everything, and they were more like not work. They didn't wear as many corsets then because they started to get into their own fashion and they weren't following Italy or whatever the other place that they were following.
I think something that you can kind of infer in general about some of the pictures in there is that, that like we kind of talked about before, is that like these women were a big part of their role was good for their husband at home. There's a lot of it wasn't to go socialize or participate in their own events, but it was to solely look good for their husbands at home.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of infer that the society was totally centered around men, and that the woman, any job that they had, was secondary to their husband. If you look at how like flawless and spotless all of their apparel was in each of these photos,
Which is still like insane to think about because of how muddy the streets would have been. Like, how do you clean? Like after a softball game, I can barely get out the dirt in my black pants. It's like, how would you clean a dress, like a white dress that you would wear during the day?
well, especially in England, like they talked about how muddy and how disgusting of a place it was to be outdoors in. So obviously,
I know.
Like that wasn't in their day-to-day at all.
So they weren't outside. I think we talked about that, something like that before. They obviously weren't outside because their dresses were so freaking perfect.
Another inference you can kind of make about some of the corsets they're wearing in like on slide 8, like this and 9 and 10, just all of how the anatomy changes from those wearing of the corsets. Like these women, I don't know if they were forced to, but they were literally willing to like make any sacrifice it took to be part of what society said was beautiful. And like,
yeah.
When I was younger, we did a project on like all the Cinderellas around the world. Like there's just so many different versions, and like how Cinderella is kind of based on a story of like these women trying to fit their feet into a certain shoe size, and these women would literally bound their feet until they fit. And like these women are literally hugging their torsos as tight as possible just to fit the norm of what people said was beautiful.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah. Okay, what's the next question?
What sort of meaning can we attach to the changes in women's sense of what shape their bodies should have, or the fact that hairstyles were simplified?
I feel like hairstyles in this era were less as important because of like the hair stuff that they did wear, like the bonnets or whatever,
Yeah.
or like the big bow things. Have you guys seen Hello Dolly?
Yes.
But they like wear kind of the stuff that's in this, and it's just like always decorated with like something in their hair. If it's just like a band of pearls or like something with like little ringlet curls and then pulled back.
Yeah. And like it talks about how in this era, it was like more geared towards working. So I think that the like hairstyle simplified and like wearing bonnets more kind of was just to like keep it out of your face, you know?
Yeah. I also I have nothing to back this up as far as like I don't know for sure, but look at how women like they started wearing the bonnets, the accessories, the hats, and I wonder if like what type of hats or what type of bonnets you wore was more signifying of like your status and how much money you had than like how you did your hair. Like back in the day when they all did their hair and huge,
Yeah.
that was something that everyone could do. But I wonder if this like these hair pieces and everything that they had, like it was a better symbol of their status and how much money they had.
I didn't think about that. That's good.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
Okay. Talking about the hairstyle, I just found out that even though it's not really shown in how they're dressing, but seems like that the woman hairs on that Victorian eras, the woman hairs can tell their glory or their growing, or meaning that their long hair tell their beauty, something like that.
Yeah.
That's related to our culture. On that long time ago, when we grow up, our grandma always tell us that the beauty of a woman can tell from their hair, the long hair. I think it's related to the hairstyle on the 18th century. And what I found out from the people is something like only time that they're allowed to cut their hair when they're having illness. I can see how important for them to let their hair growing. We can compare the style on the 18th century to this time. We hardly see anyone with that long hair now. You see, girls are cutting their hair with different style. But I agree. I think the hair can tell the beauty of that woman.
Yeah, for sure.
And also how their dress, how the women dress, the shape of their body can tell the beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not like us Tongan, we have those big waists, but that if we have the small one, I think that's still the beauty, and then you have that little beautiful body. I think it's related in culture and society.
Yeah, I think you're right, because a lot of the stuff we're learning about is from this time era but we're learning specifically about this era in Europe. And so, like, the European woman is different than a woman coming around the world. For sure.
But I feel like everybody, like anywhere in the era, like it was then where it was sit and like suck in, you know, which is dumb and still like I would think a problem in society's eyes still, just like why I don't know. I think it like started then with the corset because like they didn't have anything else to like other than like maybe like tying a ribbon around their waist to like accentuate it, but like they didn't have anything that would like really suck you in like before the corset. And so I feel like that was like a big deal when the corset came out. Okay, you don't have an excuse now for like being big because you have a corset. You know?
Yeah, because of like how clothed they were too, and how that they needed to have their clothes like to their wrists and to their ankles and like pretty high. I feel like that was one way that a woman could kind of try to show off her body. Like in that society, it wasn't a thing to do. There was a way to do that. But I feel like the corset was maybe the woman's way of, I don't know, like showing off her figure as much as she could without it being unacceptable, you know?
Yeah.
One thing that I have found out that I think shampoo and all those conditioner are not that very expensive on that time, but I can see how they are really wanted to take care of their hair by washing and found out that they use some nature oiling to let their hair growing and healthy. I always like related to our culture stuff.
Yeah.
Because what I found out they are most common, you know, us when we grow up, when a baby about to born, the mother has to have an oil prepared for the baby. Because it's a tongue and oil, which is made from coconut and all those tongue and stuff. So it's for the baby to, they starting nurturing the body and the hair too. So when they grow up, I think that's one thing that they usually use for letting the hair grow healthier and longer is using the oil. It's the tongue and oil. But I think, yeah, I think it's mostly common to what I have found out and what I have seen in the PowerPoint. I like looking at them, how they do their hair, different style, the curly and those stuff.
Yeah.
But I can see it's kind of coming back, eh? Because here I can see the curly hair, it's kind of the more now. Not that straight one, but kind of coming back the curly hair. Like every dance I go to, like, looking at the girls curling their hair.
I think that this PowerPoint, I think it was Roxanne, maybe Kenna that sent it earlier, but how the headpieces might have something to do with them being outside more. And like the more I look at these pictures, especially like slide 11 and then slide 12, like I think that it does. It has to do with the fact that these women were spending a little bit more time outdoors.
Hello?
You there, Kenna?
Yeah, sorry.
You good?
I have crappy service. I'm in the bathroom at a camp in San Diego.
Oh. Sorry. That sucks.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. But you guys, people are telling me that I need to go because everyone's trying to go to bed and I'm being too loud.
Okay.
You can
I
go.
would go till 9. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Bye. Sorry, guys.
See ya.
All right. We talked about what the style change had to do with body shape, but then it says, what does this have to do with the way women were thought of or thought of themselves? And what is the significance of the tight-waisted corset? We kind of already talked about those.
Yeah.
Why did men become simpler in their dress?
Why did men what?
Why did men become even simpler in their dress? Why is there so much less variation for men than women?
I feel like we talked about some of this when we talked about like the other fashion thing. Like they had to be more manly for their girl. And so like before there were like accessories and like this big poofy scarf thing and like maybe they like wore different hairstyles or like did all this stuff. Like I feel like it became simpler because they like needed to look like this man. Because the women are looking more womanly with their like shape and everything. And I think the men were like, oh crap, I have to look like a man now.
Also,
And then,
like, based off just the slides of this assignment, like it was so much, and I guess this question to go along with it, like there was so much less variation. Like slide 22 shows 3 guys, and they're a little bit different, but like for the most part, I feel like there was just one solid like goal that every man wanted to fill fashion-wise. I think you're right. Just like.
Are we discussing the which question? The third one? Or combining
why did men become even simpler in their dress?
Oh, so we are skipping the third one?
Oh, the third and the fourth one we kind of already talked about, so we said
Okay.
But
what does it has? What does this have to do with the way women were thought about themselves?
So we just talked about how kind of like the corsets gave women a way to show off their bodies in a way that they couldn't in any other way. We talked about how Roxanne. What else did we talk about?
for the men thing?
No, what else?
Never mind.
You good?
We're good. But I just want to add on just one thing is that I think this give a thought for us women of how important for us to be believing that saying is that cleanliness is next to godliness. How we can see that the way that they are dressing, I think everything they need to everything need to be clean, needed. Also the way they do their hair, not like us, which is do it any way we want to do it. But I think they trying to organize their dressing code and also how they do their hair. And I think that that's reminding us women that we are the home, that we need to make sure everything that needs to be organized and clean. I think that's one thing that I want to add on. I found it.
No, I really like that.
Yeah, that's just a thought that came to mind.
Good.
So we are up to why did men become even simpler in their dress?
Yeah, and so we kind of talked about, Roxanne brought up that in that time, these women became even more feminine in their dress, and these men became even more masculine in their dress. And so there wasn't as much fashion going on as just a general change in their trends, and not as much showing off as just not showing off in like a flamboyant fashion way, but showing off in like, look how sharp I look, type of thing. And like they talked about how the headwear kind of changed, and there was just a general top hat, and that was what stuck around. And the pants kind of changed to what student pants look like today. So it's kind of stayed in that.
Yeah. And I think as women, we have a lot of things to do with ourselves.
Yeah.
Rather than men.
We have a lot more to think about.
Yeah. That's true. So are we up to why is there so much less variation for men than for women?
Yeah.
So I think we already covered this.
Yeah, I think we already got that one good. So how do these things relate to such issues as relationships between men and women, or the fact that the middle class had become clearly the class of power in England? I kind of think that the fashion that we just talked about kind of goes to show that the middle class is kind of what took over the trends, and I don't know, like what the guys were wearing was very like just like normal, neutral. It wasn't something flamboyant that royalty would be wearing, but the middle class is what people started striving to look like, you know?
Mm-hmm. I completely agree with that. Yeah.
Women-wise, not as sure, but.
And I think the middle part, can really tell the shape of that woman, and from that shape can tell the beauty of it. Yeah.
Do you guys have anything to add about how they relate to relationships between men? You there, Roxanne?
Is it the one that I've when we are in youth, when we still young women, one of our leaders always teach us how we sit as lady. Like the shoulder has to move to the back, and then like I don't know.
And
You have to sit, yeah. But I think that's if you have that small middle part of your waist, then you can do that. Ladies, yeah, but you guys, us Tongans, we can't do that because we have that big waist. I don't know. Yeah, but reading and looking through the pictures, I was thinking, man, how can I have this small waist? Maybe I should ask for those little things that need to.
Why can't you have this small waist?
But like even that's a really good example of like even from that time, like men and women's relationship, like the fact that it's a thing, the fact that it's taught like how a woman should be sitting for a man, like I show that like women's job is to look good for the man, like impress the man. And I think something that was like prevalent even back then. Like the clothes that they wore weren't functional clothes. It's not stuff that they could do stuff in, but it's stuff that they looked good in to impress the men, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there you go. You already answered that question.
There you go. So to put in the paper, you're gonna have to cite. You're gonna have to include some examples. So
what is it?
When you write the paper, you're gonna need to talk about at least 3 pictures and then give some evidence. So, can you?
So I have to do it in before 11:59, right?
Yeah, can you, Ellen just texted.
What is it?
Ellen just finally answered.
No.
But, so, do you know how,
So are we done? So I have to rush to our program because I need to. Then I'll rush back and then do our write up. Is that all right?
yeah, that's fine. Just if you need any help, you could make a Google Doc, and then we could all help you edit it. But if you've got it, then you can go for it.
Okay. Are you will be on that time?
I was going to ask you, do you have can you text American,
Oh, numbers.
could we text?
What's your how about if you give your numbers and then I'll call because we have something called free call. I have to buy $3 and then I can call you for about 30 minutes.
Can you email so it's free? Is emailing okay?
The email?
Yeah.
Why don't you get our email? I don't want you have to pay for anything. But why don't you get our email so you can email us if you need any help, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll send our emails in the little messenger thing. So we don't say it over the live YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's.
So our fans don't start emailing it.
We have way too many fans.
We have like
Okay. Are you good too, Paul?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good because I have to rush. I need so many stuff to do that.
Okay, cool.
Okay, yeah.
All right, I'll see you guys.
Okay, see you guys later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.